Nigeria's interstate rail transport system has been a key player in the country's push for improved infrastructure and transportation. Now, on the front burner today, we will take a close look at how the railways are shaping intercity travel and economic activities across the country. So today we are delving into Nigeria's rail transport system, a network that connects our cities, links communities, and supports trade and mobility across the country. How far has Nigeria come in rail development, and what impact is it making on the economy and people's lives? And joining us on today's discussion, we have Gbenga Adigun. He's the MD CEO of Reba Perfecta Limited and a real estate expert. So let's look at the impact on property values. How has the development of interstate rail transport actually impacted on property values in cities connected by the railway?
The rail system is an amazing thing, and then it's like the nerves in your body supplying or carrying blood and nutrients to all parts of your body, your organs, systems, making it alive and thriving and nourished. A real system does so much to an economy. If we look at the most developed economies in the world, the simple thing remains the very simple thing, no matter what technology becomes tomorrow. The basics of it all is for development is freedom of goods and services and people. I repeat, freedom of goods and services and people. A real system, integrated real system does this. It moves people from point A to point B efficiently en masse. I must repeat, en masse. So we can see the recent efforts of the government. It's better late than never. In other sides of the world, they've had rail systems for 200 years, 300 years that led to the industrialization of these economies. So it does so much on property values of in the UK they say when you live next to a train station, you're connected to the world because the train stations, they literally take you right inside the airport, like literally stops at the airport, you come out, you check in, get a boarding pass, and you fly anywhere in the world. So everything along that stretch, say houses, businesses, commercial spaces, there will be more demand for real estate, private and commercial real estate products, and that also increases the pricing. So it's a good thing for investors. It may not be a very fantastic thing for people who are the consumers or paying for this, but overall, it leads to serious economic benefits. There will be more jobs. There will be economic growth. There will be increased accessibility. There will be urban development. There will be improved connectivity, and a potential for gentrification. Gentrification, depending on the side of the argument you are, gentrification is the process of gradually replacing long-term residents, with newer residents. So maybe an area that doesn't, the optics doesn't look nice, maybe because of the rail system, it attracts more big commercial ventures, and the old structures they may be taken down and new ones will come. But again, it helps to beautify the city. It helps to give the city a facelift. So yes, there are many significant impact on property values in cities connected by the railway or along the railway.
Mr. Adigun is actually talking to us from London. He has been traveling. Good for you. So you have seen a rail system of transportation, and you've traveled far and wide. I don't want to compare Nigeria with Singapore or London. Let's not do that comparison. Let's look at what can Nigeria do better to imitate or just be like, or follow the international best practices. What have you seen so far? What can Nigeria do more in terms of what we have abroad?
In this side of the world, they have a very dense network of underground rail systems that go as far as 200-300 deep under the ground. That's a lot of serious engineering, serious boring, serious mining, and the rest of it. We don't need to be that complex, and because of that, all the main cities are literally connected. Lagos doesn't have to even go underground yet, or maybe never. because of maybe the topography, closeness to the Atlantic, and the terrain underneath might not be that solid to hold. Because some of these underground systems have been around for maybe about 100 years. So just overground rail, we need to extend it further. The overground rail system, I was very happy to be on the for the first time the Lagos Abeokuta one. It was a very fantastic experience. Do the overground rail, extend the reach. It should get to the major starting with the major economic hubs, connect the north to the south. The north, feeds the whole country, agricultural produce, connect all these massive farmlands, connect it to the south so that you can have, you know, um, farm produce coming to Lagos in a matter of hours. There's a statistic that more than 60% of the tomatoes that are being produced get destroyed or perish even before they make it to the markets in Lagos. With rail, within a few hours, it's down to Lagos. It can be cheaper. There's more yield for the farmers. There's more buyers. There will be more jobs. So the rail system doesn't just need to be overly complicated. Do overground rail on the major hubs first. Something else that can help economic development in Nigeria is cold chain. Talking about agri produce again. Before you even build an extensive cold chain because of the reliance on power, you can even have your cold chain on the rail. You can have refrigerated cars on the rail system that takes fresh farm produce from your Benue, from your Kaduna, from all these places down to other places in the country where they will be needed. So I'm just trying to say we shouldn't go complex, and we don't have to spend. Then something else the government needs to look at is rail construction is an is a critically expensive infrastructure, endeavor. It's very expensive, but unfortunately, in Nigeria it is even much more expensive than in most sides of the world. So the government needs to look for ways to develop internal experts to see how most of these components can be built locally. But of course, you don't have a functional steel mill, so that alone is a big challenge. But for the rest of the things that can be done locally, build it locally so that it is cheaper, so that you can build more and you can build faster.
I'd like to find out from you, in your experience, has the increased accessibility through interstate rail transport, influenced the demand for residential and commercial real estate in areas near train stations?
Of course, the answer is yes. It's a very big resounding yes, because you know that what the rail does. Like yesterday, I did a journey of about over 100 kilometers here in the UK. I left in the morning. I was back before before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What a rail system does is, last week your guests on this same program, the first episode, talked about it. Everybody talks about rural urban migration. People moving from maybe outside Lagos to Lagos, and they say it's about 5 people every minute are migrating to Lagos from the rest of the country. With an integrated rail system, you can start having urban rural migration. People living in a Badagry, people living in an Ekpe to go and work in a VI are not looking for how to rent a house in Yaba or Surulere or in Lekki if they can afford it. So what the rail system does for you is it can spread out the concentration risk, or the concentration. Everybody coming to the center every day. Everybody wakes up from Badagry and all these many places, Ekpe, Akomojo, Agbara, and face one direction to VIA where they have jobs. A rail system takes away all that pressure from the center. And along every rail system is a very, very extensive value chain of people doing different things, from logistics to agriculture to oil and gas to farming to so much. One train system of 10 cars, maybe your blue line of 10 cars, with people fully in it, can take more than 300-400 cars off the road. Imagine what that does for carbon emissions, and trying to be sustainable in the green way. So it definitely improves property values along this system of place. It helps to dilute, or we pressure from the center. So if I'm working in VI, I don't have to be looking for a house in Yaba and Surulere anymore because of the proximity to, or in Ikoyi or Lekki. I can live But and the train system can be very reliable. There's no traffic. There's no trains. There's no stops like somebody said, police stops and the rest of it. It's just you can. It is you can. It's like what's it called? Your air travel. You can determine almost with dead precision that a train will arrive at so many. Like in this side of the world, you just look at the board and they say train approaching in 2 minutes. It doesn't shake. It doesn't move. That 2 minutes is that 2 minutes. So you can plan. You can leave as far as you want to leave. Come to VI in the morning. Go back at night, and that will help bring the and spread development for that, and everything will not be concentrated on the in the center.
Now, as a real estate, expert, we do understand that there are a lot of developments around rail system. If we can construct effectively, you see many supermarkets, many developments, many investments around that area. In Nigeria, what do you think? What are the investment or entire state development that, and if truly there should be investments around the train or the interstate rail that we have in Nigeria? What are the kinds of investment emphasis?
Like I said, the value chain will be extensive. You can have investments around commercial real estate. It's going to be massive. So, for example, all those train stations, it gives you, once a train stops, like here in London, the train stops, the number of people that come out is amazing. The train station can be empty. Once the train stops and people come, you are seeing hundreds of people at once. And immediately you walk out of the train station, you are seeing talk shops, people selling things here and there. You are seeing all sorts of businesses for goods, services, products, all sorts. You are seeing taxi. There's almost always a taxi park very near the train station for the last mile journey from the train station to your house. You are seeing people selling different things, other services. So what that does for you is the kind of investments that comes with that is massive, is extensive. Commercial real estate is there, private real estate is there. People also want to live close to the train station, especially if you depend on the rail system to get everywhere. When the train system is there, people can really function without cars. It will take out the number of cars you see on the roads, in Lagos, causing traffic everywhere. So much can be done. It's too numerous to recount. You can situate, say, for example, your warehouses not far from a train station, for your supply chain business. The train brings stuff, especially when you start having freight rails that do freight services. It brings stuff. They are stored in the warehouse close to the train station before further redistribution. Talking about oil, like here we have what's it called? You see trains carrying, I'm not exaggerating, minimum of 100 cars or tankers. You see trains carrying oil, hundreds. Maybe the regular tanker is saying like maybe 60,000 liters tanker carrying. You will see a stretch of 100. The train will be passing. You'll be looking at the time like this. You'll be counting 5 minutes. It's still going. So that is 100 trucks off. Less traffic, less accidents, less issues, faster delivery times. You will see the ones that carry silos, that carry grain, wheat, they are going in their hundreds. So the value chain is extensive, and a lot of businesses can be integrated, whether you're doing goods or services or you're just moving people. A lot. It's too numerous to recount. I could just go on and on. There has to be a sensitization. People need to know that the rail systems are efficient, they are reliable, they are working every day, they are dependable. Then it's not be a collective responsibility to ensure that everybody keeps it working, so that when somebody sees somebody going there, it's other people. It doesn't even get to the government. It's other people say, no, this thing is a commonwealth. It's for the common good. It's for the benefit of everybody, for the free movement of goods and services and people. Then it is better secure that way. And again, for places where there's a potential or a high propensity for sabotage or security breach along the rail systems.
You said so much on the fact that we can have lovely residential areas around the train station, urban development, and the likes. And you also pointed out the train system, where we have a situation where we can reduce post-harvest losses, meaning that goods can come from the north to the south or to the west to the east on time if we have a train system to move these goods. And really many business owners, have been talking about this and all of that. So let's look at the challenges, that real estate developers face when planning projects near these railway corridors. What are the challenges that you have to face when you need to plan a project around a railway corridor?
And what that means is it creates the risk that if this project is started, would it finish? So if you hear that government started a project for a rail system, and you as a developer, private or commercial real estate developer, you put all your investments, say, okay, I'm going to benefit this project. And for example, the project never gets completed because of the high costs of building this infrastructure, and the government is able to secure funding, then your project may just, probably die along with the abandoned project and never see the light of the day. So that's one big risk. Then if you now wait for it to be completed, you have also almost lost the last chunk, or you're late to the party. So these are where the risk needs to be balanced. If you look at the free zone areas, a lot of people have positioned for different kinds of benefits that comes from all the massive infrastructure coming up in that area. Some have crystallized, and some others still not yet. So these are the challenges to developers. And another challenge is, you want to ensure that as a developer that you're not just taking. Let me use the word. You're not just taking. You're also looking for ways to integrate with the real system to economic benefit or more economic value. And the government too faces these challenges, because whenever they want to do a real estate project, there's an impact on local ecosystems. Local ecosystems